But before doing that, question for you. If you and I were in 10th grade together, who was Tulsi Gabbard in high school? I'm curious.
Very, very shy, introvert. I'm the fourth of five kids. I have three older brothers and a younger sister. And by far amongst the kids in our family and certainly even in my circles, tomboy, did martial arts, loved surfing, hiking, sports, read voraciously, but very, very shy and an introvert. So if you and I were in high school, I probably would not have spoken to you. Not because of you.
That quiet.
Very. I would, like, my mom would send us to go to the grocery store and buy, some bread or whatever. I would not want to speak to the clerk at the grocery store. I'd make my sister go. She is an extrovert.
So I would make her. Right? Yeah. April 12th. So when did it flip? When were you like, you know what? Why am I so nervous? Because I was shy as well. When did the flip happen for you?
I am. I mean, I'm, obviously I'm still introvert by nature, but the, so you mentioned I ran for the state house when I was 21. It was very, very hard. The hardest thing about that was going and knocking on people's doors and starting those conversations to introduce myself and really asking for the opportunity and the privilege to serve them. Every single door that I went to was a huge cause of anxiety just because of that. Where it eventually turned actually was I had served in the state house. I had deployed. I'd come back. I had served on the Honolulu City Council. It was when I was running for Congress that I just had to take some time of introspection. Just like I am pursuing this path of service that I've committed my life to, and yet there are these self kind of created hurdles of anxiety just because of that shyness. And I looked myself in the mirror and I was like, what's your problem? You got to figure this out. And really just taking that time made me realize that all of those fears and insecurities, the causes of that anxiety were actually very selfish, because I was thinking like, well, I don't want to sound stupid. What if they ask me a question I don't know the answer to, and I don't want to bother them? And the common word that came up as I was going through this was I and me. I was like, well, that's a problem, especially as I had made this decision to pursue this path of service. And so that was where things changed, where instead of walking into a room, something that would cause anxiety, and anyone who's an introvert and shy, you can probably relate, was turned around when I realized, like, stop thinking about yourself, Tulsi. Go in this room and take the opportunity to connect with other people, to share aloha with them, to smile, have a nice conversation at a bare minimum. And once I shifted my focus on in that way, it changed everything.
I love it, because when we watch you on stage and Kamala goes after you, and then you go the back and forth when Kamala and Biden were going back and forth, and then you came in and boom, and then the comments about Hillary and what she said about you, and everybody's wondering how you're going to react, and your reaction was even stronger than the way she did it. And then you see this person, you're like, this woman's got poise, strength, courage, confidence, is willing to stand up for herself. These are not qualities of somebody that's timid or shy. So it's great that transition happened to you. But the question was, you read a lot.
I think to your point on that, it all, I mean, it is all rooted in a place of intentionally every day choosing to not put myself first, service above self. And so as attacks are coming or whatever, all of these other things that are happening, whether it was in the past or just the stuff that we're dealing with now on a daily basis, you talked about some of the things in your introduction. For me, recognizing it's not about me. So all this stuff is just like, I'm not in it for me. The attacks can roll off my shoulder and let me stay focused on my mission.
How many politicians genuinely have that mindset where it's about service to others and helping the country first, versus sort of being an egomaniac? I want to have power. I want to have notoriety.
Unfortunately, not very many, even though we hear these words very often coming from politicians, the actions tell another story. And this was one of the most disheartening things that I found when I was in Congress for 8 years, was how many people in the House and the Senate, their whole identity is centered around this title. And so when that is their identity, and I've seen this with people who've left Congress and found themselves feeling very almost worthless or irrelevant because people aren't inviting them to things anymore. People aren't asking them, hey, what's your opinion on this? And so for those who are there, you can see how they are willing to do whatever it takes